I stopped watching my sister's kids for free after 4 years of never being asked. So I need to explain what never being asked actually means, because people hear that and assume it was mutual, like some easy arrangement we both agreed to. It wasn't. My sister Dana never asked me to babysit. She told me, there's a difference. It started when her oldest, Bryce, was about 2. Dana called me on a Tuesday afternoon and said she had a work thing Thursday evening and could I come over around 6 p.m. Not can you or would you be able to? Just can you come over at 6? I said sure because I didn't think much of it at the time. She had her second kid, Mara, 18 months later. After that it became almost every week, sometimes twice a week. A mix of evenings and full weekend days. I'd show up, she'd hand me a sippy cup and a snack schedule. No discussion about whether it worked for me. No heads up more than a day or two in advance. I work, I have a life, but I kept showing up. The thing that really got under my skin was that she never acknowledged it as a favor. It was just assumed. I'd spend a Friday night doing bath time and bedtime and fielding Bryce's meltdowns, and the next time I'd see Dana, she'd barely mention it. No thank you, no real thank you anyway. Sometimes she'd say something like, you're so good with them, and move on. I started to realize she genuinely did not think of it as something I was giving her. She thought it was something I just did because I was their aunt. I brought it up once gently about a year and a half in. I said something like, hey, I want to keep being there for the kids, but it would help me if I had a little more notice sometimes. She looked at me like I'd said something unreasonable and said, I thought you liked spending time with them, which yes, I do. That has nothing to do with what I was saying. I let it go. 2 years after that, I still hadn't let anything change. Then this past spring, Dana called me on a Wednesday and said she needed me Friday through Sunday because she and her husband were going away for their anniversary. 3 days. No previous conversation, no asking if I was free. She just told me and started giving me information about Mara's ear situation and Bryce's new bedtime. I stood there listening and something in me went very quiet. I said, I can't do this weekend. She paused. What do you mean? It's their anniversary. I understand that. I already have plans. Can't you move them? No. She got quiet for a second and then said, I've been counting on you. I don't know what I'm going to do. And I noticed she still hadn't asked me. Not even in that moment. Even when she needed something big, it wasn't a question. I said, Dana, you've never actually asked me. Not once in 4 years. You call and tell me and I show up. And I've been glad to help, but I'm not a backup plan you can activate whenever you need to disappear for a weekend. She told me I was being dramatic. That family does these things for each other. That I had no idea how hard it was to have 2 kids and a job and a marriage to keep afloat. I said, I know it's hard, which is why I've been there every single time you called, but you've never once said please or thank you or I know this is a lot to ask. Then she texted me that evening saying she'd figured it out and that she was really hurt. I wasn't there when she needed me. I didn't respond. A week later, my mom called. Apparently, Dana had told her I'd refused to help in a family emergency, which is not what happened at all. My mom said, she's just overwhelmed. You know how she is. I said I did know how she was. That's exactly the problem. Dana sent me a long message about a week after that. It said she'd been thinking about it and she realized she probably hadn't said thank you enough, but that she expected more from a sister. She said the kids had been asking for me. I wrote back one sentence. Call me when you want to ask instead of tell. She hasn't called.